Hello, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez of themoviewizard.com, and let's talk about Spotify because I love Spotify. I also hate Spotify. I have such ambiguous feelings about Spotify. For those of you who don't know what Spotify is, and I'm sure there are very, very few of you who are unaware, Spotify is a music streaming service in the vein of Napster, only it is legal. Basically, the way it works is if Spotify has rights to the music, you can type in an artist's name or a song or an album and you can stream it. You can either stream the album for free and just have to listen to a few ads in between songs, or you can pay $10 a month and you can listen to as much music as you want. When the service launched in the United States a few years ago, I remember loving it and being a little concerned about it at the same time. On one hand, I was glad that this completely made piracy useless. Like, seriously, why would you steal it anymore? They have a legal, free way to listen to your music without doing anything illegal, so that was good. However, the thing that I personally wondered is whether or not it was too convenient. After all, the reason Napster shook up the music industry was because it's hard to compete with free. Would Spotify be doing the same thing, only be cannibalizing its own industry? Well, that has been the debate for the last few years, and Spotify has been in the center of it along with Pandora. Though, to Pandora's credit, at least you can't customize your playlist, it's more like a radio thing. But a few years ago, Beyonce released a self-titled album exclusively on iTunes, and it did not come to Spotify until much later. Then last year, Taylor Swift famously pulled her music and her number one album of the year, 1989, from Spotify, so that you had to go to the store to buy 1989. And according to The Verge, which I'll have a link below, it looks like this is going to be the same situation this year. Adele's 25 is promised to be the biggest album of the year, one of the few albums that people are actually looking forward to getting. However, if you want to listen to it on Spotify, you might be out of luck because it looks like she will be bypassing Spotify altogether. The reason for this is the reasons the other artists have pulled their music from Spotify. Basically, if you don't have to buy the music, there's no reason to buy the album. What's more, the royalties that Spotify pays the artists when people listen to the music, whether they be subscribed or not subscribed, is pennies on the dollar. In fact, I've read that it's as low as less than a cent per stream. Not exactly something you want to do when you have the biggest album of the year on your hands. Now, of course, this is unconfirmed, and Spotify denies the whole thing, saying, that basically, they strive to have all the artists under one roof and yada yada yada. This is the same thing that they've been saying for years, since the Taylor Swift and Beyonce controversy. And it should be noticed the Beyonce album is now on Spotify now, so if anything, they will probably eventually get it. And it should be noted that at the moment, Apple Music is not included in this little streaming boycott of Adele's because Apple Music, you can't stream for free. You have to have a subscription, a paid subscription, to listen to it. And who knows, Apple might pay their artists better. I don't know. I've heard far less complaints about Apple Music from the artists, and I don't know if Tidal is anywhere in this discussion, but I haven't heard anything about them either. And just for good measure, it's not just Adele. Coldplay is dropping a new album this year, and they're thinking of bypassing the Spotify thing. So what does this mean? Well, for one thing, I want to stress that I do not believe Spotify is going out of business anytime soon. I mean, it's too popular to just drop off the face of the earth. However, it does mean that if Spotify wants to continue staying around and making money, they might have to reassess their business model. As they've said for years, there's no money in giving away stuff for free. Even YouTube, that wonderful thing where you can upload videos for free and you can watch as many as you want, still depend on ads to make money. The more people stream their TV shows on the internet, the more you see product placement in the shows because something needs to pay for it. And basically, no matter how popular an album is, no matter how much people want to listen to it, no matter how many people stream on Spotify, if you're telling this all to the artist and they're looking at you, the only thing they're thinking of, well, that's great that you like my music and my album, but my question is, when do I get paid for this? Writing music is still a job. People need to get paid for their work. Spotify is notoriously bad for paying their artists. They're bad about paying everyone. And this will have been the third year in a row that they have not had the number one album of the year on their service. Again, I don't think they're going away anytime soon, but it is a sign that maybe they need to reassess their business model, how they treat the artists, how they pay the artists, And yeah, I don't know where else they can go with this at the moment. Spotify loses money every year. So does Amazon.com now that I think about it, but that's another story that I've talked about. But it is that money losing mentality is most likely going to keep 25 off the servers. So if you really want to listen to 25 on day one, you either need to have an Apple Music account or you need to go to the store and buy the CD for 10 stinking dollars. Alright, well that's a rant. What do you guys think? You looking for the new album? Does the Spotify news upset you? I'd like to know. Comment below and subscribe, favorite, share, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.